We are installing the Summit Hill Neighborhood Association Community Garden.
We are near the intersection of St. Clair and Victoria. So it's District 16 in St. Paul, and it's on parkland actually, Linwood Park in St. Paul. It was just a big open space of land that a lot of us have kind of been looking at for many, many years, thinking, maybe we could have a garden there.
It consists of two mandala gardens. One is the 64-foot diameter garden we see behind here, and that has 17 keyhole beds in the center and kind of a flower circle shape. And then next to it is a 48-foot mandala bed over here.
And we've been working on planning for the garden for about 18 months, and we're finally installing it today.
It's been a learning process for all of us, and we're really excited to be able to have 50 plots for people in our neighborhood to grow lots of vegetables and flowers organically.
We're so lucky to find Dan Halsey, who's a permaculture specialist and has done several community gardens in the Twin Cities area using permaculture techniques. It's a way of working with nature to maximize your yields and minimize your footprint.
And the way these mandalas are put together is that all the vegetables are done in the middle, all the little fragile vegetables, smaller lettuces, things like that. And on the outside perimeter, the 10-foot depth of the perimeter, are all the field crops. Corn, squash, things that take up a lot of space.
What's your name? We've made these beautiful wattle fences.
And as soon as I explained it to one person and they explained it to the next, everybody just picked it up and we went like that.
People brought their kids and, their parents, and what's so cool about that is that there's this whole permaculture education that's going on in this garden building right now.
The mandala garden design is actually quite old, centuries old, and it's been used in the Middle East, the Far East, and Asia quite a bit. Because the biggest problem we have with community gardens is that there's all sorts of places to walk and all this space that's wasted, whereas if we use circles, there are very few paths, and everybody works basically in a circle around themselves as they garden.
We have a lot of people who are renting, or maybe condo owners don't have any green space, and so I hear that from a lot of people about, I wish I had a garden or a place to grow vegetables. And I think just in general, people are concerned about food security.
We decided from the get-go we wanted this garden to be organic. On the other side of the tennis court next year we'll be putting in a food forest, and that's going to become a home for beneficial insects, songbirds.
Some of us are doing some shared plots within this garden where we plan on donating 25% of all of our harvest each week to the seniors in the neighborhood.
This is actually designed for the gardener. It's designed to help them be successful, but also to be beautiful for the city and for the neighborhood. And as soon as you start putting things in a circle, you've already added beauty to this, and you kind of get out of the grid work that we're kind of used to that makes it look very mechanical.
When a community garden is created in a neighborhood, crime goes down, people have an opportunity to get to really know their neighbors.
As the gardeners are working in their keyhole beds, they actually all face each other. The people in the center face out and the people in the outside face in. And so if there's 2 or 3 people working together, the natural thing to do as they're working in their garden, which is basically sitting or kneeling, is you're facing towards the outer of your garden, but that means you're facing towards somebody else across from you. And it's a great way to have conversation.
The impact that you can make when you pull together to do a project is just, tenfold, 20-fold, 100-fold.
There's so many of us don't know a lot of the people on our block, and this is a good way to, you tell people about what you're working on, you ask them for help.
If you work together and you do things together, you're going to have a better community. I mean, it's going to be a safer place because you know each other.
I've met hundreds of people through this process that I would never have met otherwise, so it definitely is a community builder.
This kind of a project really helps people come together, get to know their neighbors, but also gives them a sense of belonging and ownership.
I have never had this many people show up, and we're always worried we're not going to have enough people, but we have so many wheelbarrows, all the tools you'd ever want. I don't know, what do we have? 50, 60 people that came to help us put this garden in.
We got a couple of Boy Scout troops volunteering for us, which was awesome. We got a group of college students from McAllister who wanted a volunteer project.
This is like the most help, the most efficient, the fastest, painless way that we've ever put one of these in. Artists, we got the mechanics, we have people that just want to lift and carry, and it's really great working, and you can just see we have a crowd and everybody's just putting something together.
Having people come together around nature is a much more powerful community builder than anybody really realizes.
It really is part of the city, it's part of the community, and it also is part of the environment.